Aber das ist das Intro. And this is the intro.
Yeah.
Welcome to the first episode number 63 of the Martin Huber Knife Podcast, all around the topic of knife making. And I want to welcome the greatest and best knife maker beyond this anvil. Chris is upstairs. Don't tell him.
Still beyond the anvil. Kind of. Up there.
Up there. Mo, my camera guy.
Hi. It's me.
This is Mo.
Some of you might have seen me in movies like Exploring Utah.
Exploring Utah or BLADESHOw, Texas, or BLADESHOw, Texas, or BLADESHOw, Texas, or We Are in Texas, or The Last Day in Texas. How many Texas episodes have there been?
I think 3.
5?
One in New Orleans, and I think 3 Texas, 2 Texas. I don't know.
I think it was New Orleans, BLADESHOw. No, New Orleans, San Antonio, BLADESHOw, and then the Kettle Drive.
Kettle. Damn.
I think it was 4.
Damn.
Was it 4? It was way too
That's
long.
a lot of
And there has been
footage I've been in.
5 videos in Utah where I only uploaded, I think, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I've been in Atlanta
True.
2 weeks ago.
Atlanta.
1 week ago. Last week, there is a vlog about Atlanta.
Last week, yeah.
Well, there is footage from Atlanta. There is no vlog yet.
There's
There is
footage from
footage.
Atlanta that will be edited one day, but our editor is very, very busy right now. So,
That's the editor.
hi, I'm the editor.
That's the editor.
Yeah. He's the camera dude. I'm the editor. It's easy as that.
I'm not gonna do any editing. Not gonna happen.
You tried to do editing of one video. That was like, because you gave me shit about not finishing the
Yeah.
video,
And I had a lot of time.
and you had a lot of time.
Yep. Then I had to wait for the footage. And then when I got the footage, I got busy again. So, no Utah vlog.
No youth vlogs. Oh, we did 2. The kind of interview with Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was
so
the one with
there's
Derek.
2 uploaded from Utah now.
And there is the one.
The night shot that you should edit.
Yeah.
The special video that we won't talk about because we still could upload it anytime.
Huh.
And the second part of the vlog with the
Right.
BLADESHOw. True. Yeah, anyways, back to knife making. Today we had a little forging session and it's half an hour now until Chris is finished with his work. So we thought, hey, we wanted to do a kind of podcast in Atlanta.
Yeah, we
but
tried.
we never had the time to because we were
Yeah.
so busy about, I don't know, cuddling donkeys and watching ducks running around.
That wasn't a duck. It was a punk duck.
About 20 of those. And
Punk
turkeys.
ducks. And turkeys. And
Yeah.
horses.
And horses.
Peter, the horse is here.
Peter! So anyways, yeah, welcome to the vlog. We talk about...
It's not a vlog, it's a podcast.
fuck me. 2 minutes in and already demonetized because I cursed 3 times. Anyways,
I started blasting.
I started back to the studio. No. So we are just here sitting and had a time and thought, yeah, let's come up with this podcast idea back again and talk a little bit about what we actually did in Atlanta, what we saw in Atlanta, I think maybe the topic's a little bit of what we 2 did in the last, maybe, how long are you filming for me now?
Almost a year.
Almost a year?
Almost a year now. I think it started in September or August, I'm not sure.
About a year ago, yeah.
Yeah, a year ago.
So I think most of the videos, except for the time period after you had your surgery, I think except for this 2 months, you filmed nearly every video, or at least have been part of every video.
Most of the time
Yeah.
when the camera is moving, that's me.
That's him.
Most of the time. I think about 99% of the time.
99%. Yeah.
That's me, yeah. So, I that was fun.
Say thank you more in the comments. Or don't. I don't give a fuck.
Sure.
So Atlanta. How was Atlanta for you? It was your first time in Atlanta. I've been there like 4 times now. So your first time in Atlanta, how was it?
Very. Um,
Very, very dehydrated.
no, it wasn't dehydrated. Actually,
I have been dehydrated. So.
it was very humid.
Yeah, true.
It was very warm and very humid. But it was very. Every time I'm in the US, it always feels very big and grand and massive.
Yep. Especially when you drive 2.5 hours from Salt Lake City to Moab.
Yeah.
With seeing 5 other cars and 2 houses.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So that's
If
what
3.
that's what Atlanta was. Very big. There is the saying, the European mind can't comprehend this, and the European mind really can't comprehend
Can't comprehend. Yeah.
how big everything is over there. But yeah, Atlanta is definitely a city. Atlanta is definitely one of those cities. It's one of the cities of all time.
You can describe Atlanta with one word.
There's not a lot going on down there. I
No,
think.
Atlanta is a nice city. I like it. It's beautiful. It has its places, I'd say. But compared to the other places we have been together, and I have been on my own, it's really boring. Sorry for people from Atlanta, but it's really boring. Without
least-
Trey and Rachel, it would have been so boring. Those two saved our week a little bit, to be honest.
But I think it could be really fun. I think there's lots of places that tourists like we are basically don't know about. I think all of the famous spots are the aquarium, the Coca-Cola factory, which we didn't go to.
We did go to the aquarium,
Yeah,
but we
but
didn't go
not
to the
to the-
Coca-Cola
yeah.
because I've been there once and
Yeah. So I think there's lots of things people know about that we don't know about. So if some of you are from Atlanta or know stuff to do there, please let us know.
yeah, let us know. I'm gonna be there for the next couple of years, and I don't want to get bored.
Yeah. Just drop everything. But yeah, I think. But to be honest, our trip wasn't about Atlanta. Our trip was about
Blade Show.
Show.
The reason for this whole podcast.
Yeah. So if you haven't noticed,
Oh, by the way, if you haven't mentioned it yet, the last couple of minutes, 27 times, we have been to Blade Show Atlanta.
yes, biggest Blade exhibition,
Biggest knife exhibition
biggest
in
knife
general
exhibition in the
whole
world.
world. About 1,100, I think 1,100 exhibitors
Yeah.
and us.
And us. Yeah. True. Yeah. Very big.
Very big.
But to be honest,
It was big. There's nothing bigger.
that's the thing. Everyone described it as massive and big, and you can't imagine how many people are there.
The European mind can't comprehend it.
But I could comprehend this. When I went in there, in the big exhibition hall, I'm like, is that it?
Yeah, honestly, the thing that I already told you in Atlanta is like, you've been with me to Texas and Utah before. Both very big, like compared to most European, like I think compared to all European exhibitions. I think the biggest ones are Solingen and Thiers in France with about 250 to 300 exhibitors. Those are the biggest we have, like knife exhibitions. Not exhibitions where knives part of it, but standalone knife exhibitions.
Just nice.
And I think the smallest of those two is Texas, and Texas is 400, 450. So you are already used to bigger ones.
Yeah.
Most of people, like I did a couple of years ago, the first exhibition ever in the US was Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I was walking in there and
I mean, it's big. It's really
it's
big.
huge. It's
But I did imagine it being bigger.
the one thing that's always crazy to me in Atlanta is when everybody's like, hey, yeah, I'm maybe gonna fly down there for one day and look at everything. I'm like,
Not gonna happen.
you need at least 2 days and then you've missed half of it.
Yeah.
So if you want to ever go to Atlanta and not have been there, I mean, Uncle Larry and Mr. Goodman will be in the comments and tell you guys, because they have been to Atlanta first time, I think so too, have stopped by at our tables, brought us some gifts.
Yes.
Uncle Larry
Thanks
had his
for
first
those.
Red Bull with us. Thanks for that.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
Not having Red Bull.
Yeah, first of all, not having Red Bull is a war crime. Second of all, watching me for over a year and not drinking a Red Bull is a war crime.
Yeah.
Drinking Monster is a war crime, so...
No, it's not.
It's a war crime, so...
There is Monster cans over there.
Yeah, because
in your workshop.
you and Fortworks drink that shit.
Yeah, but I threw mine away.
Just Fortworks drinks.
Oh, and by the way, just to change the topic again, this podcast is going to be over when the battery of the camera is out.
True. We forgot to tell him. Because we thought, like, yeah, let's make the podcast until we stop it, or the battery dies. So this could be half an hour, 20 minutes, or 45 minutes. So
we don't know.
When we're suddenly gone and the video is over, I already say thanks for watching and see you maybe never, because we're maybe never going to do this again, or if we're going to do this again next time. Back to the video.
So anyways.
So to the sponsor, to change the theme a little bit.
No, back to BLADESHOw.
Back to BLADESHOw.
Maybe to a trip.
So turtles.
Not enough turtles in the aquarium.
He was like, yo, the aquarium was pretty cool and I like it, but not enough turtles.
There were 3 turtles there.
What's 4?
It's an aquarium. That's 3. 3. That's 3.
4 turtles.
Not enough.
Turtles.
Not enough. Not enough turtles. The trip. Maybe we should talk about traveling there.
Sure. We shipped all our knives over for the first time.
Yep.
Because of reasons.
Yep. Reasons we're
won't
not
further
gonna discuss. Reasons you might know about if you've read the news recently, last couple of weeks.
So reasons we shipped them over, and then we got on our planes. Our luggage was
Early.
so
we got
empty.
on our
Yeah,
plane
early.
I think our first plane left at 6.
I think I picked you up at 4 in the morning. Yeah. Got up at 3 in the morning. Terrible. Picked you up at 4 in the morning. Drove to Chris.
Terrible.
Picked him up. Chris drove us to the airport and brought my car back. And then we were at the airport early morning.
Had
Chocolate
breakfast.
croissants. Quaxons. Got on the plane. Prop plane, like propellers. That's the English word. So we got into a propeller,
which was fun.
Is
No
propeller
idea.
in English?
No
I don't
idea.
know.
Which was fun.
Not the turbine, the real old school. Which was fun because it was exhaustingly loud in the first 15 minutes. And when we reached the altitude, they turned them down, and then it was okay again. But it was super crammed on that flight.
It was really
crammed.
busy.
A lot of.
We're not going to talk about the people we've seen there because that would be rude to.
Should we talk about that?
No.
Okay.
No. Hello.
Chris is behind the camera waving at us.
Waving from upstairs. Hello.
And yeah, then we arrived in Frankfurt.
Yeah, where we met
with Forgeworks, Grandworks,
Works,
Sadworks, Depressed
Works,
Works, Small Works, Happy Works,
Sleepy Works.
First time on a BLADESHOW Works,
Drink Works,
No Vape Works because
No Vape Works,
Sad Works,
yeah,
and then we met so many German knife makers and other companies. The guys
just
from
by
Böker.
chance.
Just by chance.
We didn't talk to them or anything.
Yeah,
they were just there.
They were just suddenly they were there. I was sitting in the my bad smoker. I was sitting inside the smoking area, and Fortworks joined me, and he was still waiting for his Burger King order for 25 minutes.
That was the slowest Burger King I've ever been to.
Second slowest.
No. The slowest Burger King I've been to to this point.
To this point, true.
I had to wait half an hour
For a cold ass burger.
for a burger that wasn't even good, and I think onion rings. I don't know, not good.
I don't know.
And it wasn't because they were busy. It was because they were slow.
Suddenly, like we were in the smoking room, Chris and I, and also like Fortrix and I was like, and sitting in there, like having a smoke, like, sorry, Chris. Waiting inside.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Waiting inside and talked about stuff and BLADESHOW and talked about him, about the basic stuff, and I was like looking out the window, and suddenly two friends of ours standing outside, like they came in, and then we had a talk, and suddenly the guys from Böker showed up, a big German company who's, I mean, you guys should know Böker.
Everyone knows.
And then suddenly Maxi, her husband, and another dude showed up from Knifeshow in Hamburg. And suddenly we have been this weird German, Austrian knife people group that you only meet on knife shows and never meet everywhere else.
There's a picture. You can see the picture here.
I don't edit this stuff.
You can't see the picture.
Jamie
here.
put up the picture.
You can't see the picture here.
You can't see the picture here. There, imagine here a selfie of us
At the airport.
in the airport
Yeah.
10 minutes before we boarded the flight. We got onto the flight. We both fell asleep. We had a lot of room in the flight. This was
no one wanted to go to America.
Yeah, nobody wanted to go to America. Like
I almost had a row to myself. Like 4 big seats.
At first, like I always pay the money to already reserve the seats because I want to know what trouble I get into when boarding the flight and don't want to be surprised by, hey, check-in time. I'm sitting here, Mo's sitting over there, and if
He just wants
sitting
to
like
cuddle.
10 rows apart, and I want to cuddle. And I don't want to like fart on somebody that I don't know. So if I fart on him while the flight, I don't fucking care. But yeah, so it's his problem, basically. And the most beautiful thing that you can hear when you're waiting for the flight to leave is cabin crew boarding close or
Boarding complete.
boarding complete.
And there's no
And
one is
nobody around you and nobody in the aisle.
Oh,
and you're just sitting there like, yes. So it was the two of us, one dude behind us, one dude in front of us.
Yeah.
So little to the left was Chris, all alone in a 4-part row. And
In the beginning, he was alone.
In the beginning, he was alone. And in front of Chris, a whole row with just one dude on the very left.
And me.
And so Mo went over to this row, and suddenly a whole family, Italian family, I
We're
think.
Italian, yeah.
Yeah.
Sat next to
sat
Chris.
next to Chris. Super annoying. People
And the kids started throwing up in the middle of the flight.
all the time.
Yeah. That was
Poor
pretty-
Chris
pretty
works.
bad.
Poor works. Sad works.
Sad works.
Not throwing up works.
Yeah, but the flight was alright.
It was
I
good.
guess.
Most of us slept. I think Chris slept an hour. I slept like 3 hours, maybe 4.
I can't remember.
You slept like 3 or 4 as well, something like this. So
And
great
I
success.
And I watched the best movie.
Dune?
No. I watched a really good movie, which was Conclave. And then I watched the best movie ever.
Dune?
No.
Dune.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. You guys should watch Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
The whole week he's like, watch Sonic. Watch Sonic. I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
I saw that they had it on the plane, and I tried to convince him to watch the movie.
I wanted to see Dune again,
Fucking hell,
but it
Dune is
wasn't
great.
available.
Dune is fucking
Dune.
great. And I watched something else. Oh yeah, Joker. The second part.
You liked it?
Very good.
Really?
It was very good. It was very, very good.
It was okay, in my opinion.
very good. Damn.
That's not bad. I
Very
get shitted
different.
in the comments on.
Very
Luckily,
different
nobody's
to the-
watching it. So if you watch it still in this time,
People hate it, so I might get shit on.
True.
By people in the comments.
how
was-
far are we into the? Let me zoom in. How far are we into
But
the
back
video?
to the Joker, it was very different to the first one. I hope I pressed record.
Yeah, you pressed record.
Nice.
Oh shit! The timestamp is covered by the camera. Okay, so We're
Geh mal
about...
rüber.
Nein, es ist... Die Kamera, das
Ach so.
Gehäuse ist davor.
Wash.
German. Austrian. And...
Wash.
Well. And... to change the topic. So if you're still on this time, yeah, true, BLADESHOW. If you're still here on this timestamp, you're actually one of the best followers that we have, because I think nobody ever could stand us talking for longer than 5 minutes. So now is the time where I don't care about it anymore, and
Bring out the ciggies.
Bring out the ciggies. Don't smoke, kids. It's very bad for you. Look how fat I am. It's all from smoking.
That's not how
With
it
my
works.
beautiful Don Dulovic BLADESHOW lighter.
Which you can't see.
Which you can't see because you're 7 feet away, but it's great. This podcast is so shit. BLADESHOW. No, on the way to BLADESHOW.
On the way to BLADESHOW.
TSA. We survived the 10 hours of flight. We arrived in the States on our way to TSA. The shortest gate to TSA I've ever had.
Carpet floor in the airport is fucking weird. Sorry.
Carpet floors
Generally,
except for inside homes, are weird. Still don't know about that, but this is the thing, that when I'm arriving in the US and I first step out of the plane, carpet floors, I'm back, baby. Each and every time. It's like I'm back.
I want to go home.
It was my 10th time, by the way, in the United States in the last 4 years. I spent way too much money on plane tickets. I could have bought a house by now.
No, you couldn't have.
No, I couldn't, because I would spend it on other stuff. But
TSA.
We arrived there, and as a European, you're always nervous. Always.
Yeah.
Like, everybody I talk to is like, hey, so how is TSA treating you? And they're all like, whoa. Because they ask you so many questions.
For us,
so many questions.
There was nothing to worry about, really. But still.
We had nothing to declare with us. We didn't do any crimes. Nothing.
But still.
But you're still worried.
Yep.
So we arrived at the TSA checkpoint. This lady waved us over. We went there.
It was the three of us. It was you, then Chris and me.
Yeah. And she asked me the classic question. So what's the purpose of your stay? I said vacation. And she's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, yeah, we're going to the aquarium, maybe the Coca-Cola museum, because we haven't been sure then if Mo wants to see it or Chris wants to see it. Yeah. And then I said, we're going to BLADESHOW as well. And she's like, okay, cool. What you doing at BLADESHOW? And I said, showing off my knives. And she said, cool. How much money you got? I said, $4,000 in the credit card. She says, $4,000. Why so much? I said, because I have his money as well with me. She's like, okay, cool. You got any food or alcohol or tobacco or firearms with you? I said, yeah, I got 6 packs of cigarettes for the whole week. And she's like, okay, cool. Have a nice day. I was like, that's
Easy.
it. No questions.
And that's when I got
working.
More worried.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, something is about to happen.
If I get the easy questions,
yeah, I'm going to get the hard ones.
You get the hard ones.
And then it was Chris. The second person to get questioned was Chris. And it was pretty easy for him. It was like, what are you going to do?
No, she didn't even ask what he's doing. She just said, give me your passport. He had to do his fingerprints because he hasn't been to the States in 10 years. And she just asked, you got any food with you? And he's like, no. And she's like, okay, have a nice day. And then it was Mo's turn.
And then I got there. And I was like...
Oh, wait a second. Hi, wir filmen gerade. Wir filmen gerade. Was gibt's? Was denn? Ja, so wie immer halt circa.
He's playing nice because he's on camera now.
Passt. Pussy. When wife is calling, you're picking up. Always.
So, anyways. I started blasting. No. Where were we?
TSA.
Yeah, right. I walked up to the lady and she was like, you got any food with you? I'm like, yeah, I got this Twix chocolate bar in my backpack that I bought in Frankfurt. All right, have a great trip.
Usually we're used to like 5 to 10 minutes of
Who are you?
It
Why are
feels
you here?
like a flashlight in your face and be like, hey, what's the purpose of your stay? Why are you here? What are you doing? Everything, like all the mean questions and trick questions. But super easy. Was one of the nicest
Yeah.
getting to the States
Yeah.
ever. Ever.
I've been questioned more when I went to the UK last year, 2 years ago. Yeah. So don't know what's happening.
Super nice TSA lady. Then we were worried, okay, if this went so easy, they lost our luggage, 100%.
Something has to go wrong.
Yeah,
every
there's
time.
something's bad coming up. We went to our luggage. Yours arrived pretty quick.
Yep.
And then we had to wait for mine. They had the flashback from last year, because last year they lost my luggage, but Chris's luggage was there. But then mine arrived, then we had to wait for Forgeworks' luggage. And it didn't show up, and it didn't show up, and it didn't show up. And down, suddenly one of the last pieces was there. We went out, got our Uber, and drove to the hotel.
Yeah, went to the hotel.
Pretty easy, like the easiest part. Nice hotel, same hotel as every time. I like that hotel. It's costly, but it's nice.
It was right. Yeah.
It was right. Yeah.
Well, it was good.
It was good.
It had a hotel gym, which was
Actually
nice for a hotel
kind of
gym.
gym.
Yeah,
Not
you
just
could do stuff with it.
3 dumbbells with different weights.
Yeah, it was
two
about
broken
7
down,
dumbbells.
2 broken down cardio machines, and
I think it was 10 cardio machines, 7 dumbbells, and a cable pulley, which is nice.
yeah. If somebody who owns a hotel is listening, a cable machine, like the multifunctional cable machine, and some dumbbells.
And if you want to step it up, get a squat rack.
And get a squat rack.
Get a squat rack.
Squat rack up to 100 kilos, you make everybody happy.
Yep.
You make everybody happy. That's all we need. That's all
If
we
you want to
want.
make everybody happy, 200 kilos.
Yeah, if you want to make everybody happy. Yeah. Except for the powerlifters, but yeah.
You can't afford that much weight. No. Well, back to
BLADESHOw.
BLADESHOw. Yeah.
Yeah, we did the sightseeing.
No, we arrived on Wednesday.
True.
We went to Walmart.
Walmart.
We
Biggest,
bought
nicest
so
experience.
much stuff.
Yep.
I took a phone video of all the stuff we bought, which you cannot see here.
Cannot see here, because I won't edit that stuff.
Yeah. We bought lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah. Usual stuff as always.
Yeah.
Just sweets and
Cinnamon rolls,
I bought
Red Bulls,
3 packs of crisps
bunch of water,
that I brought back home because we didn't eat them.
protein bars.
Yep.
That we didn't need.
I ate some. Monsters,
Monsters,
Black Rifle coffees,
Black Rifle coffee. Mucho importante.
Dude wipes.
Oh yeah, dude wipes. Shitload of dude wipes. I love dude wipes.
Actually, there's a story to this dude wipes, but it's about when we flew back. Maybe you'll never hear the story because the video cuts off.
Yeah,
Who knows?
maybe. Who knows? A theme for
I
another
guess we'll
podcast.
never know.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Next day. Oh, we ordered Taco Bell.
Yeah,
this
we ordered
evening.
Taco Bell. And
Next day, aquarium.
We had Forgeworks sleep on our couch.
True. Next day, aquarium. We watched at the aquarium. Was pretty okay. Then we got Vapeworks, some vapes.
Yes, because he was
Getting
already shaking.
angry. He was getting so angry.
really bad.
Then we walked around town a little bit,
Yeah.
just a small little
We
bit.
had Johnny Rockets.
Yeah, had Johnny Rockets,
Really good.
great burgers.
Yep.
And then we drove to
The venue.
the venue, got our exhibitor passes, talked to a few people.
So shout out to all the people we met on
Yeah.
Thursday. Lots of pictures not here.
Oh, look at all these pictures that are not put in here. I like this one the most. This one is one of my
really
most
cute.
favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
This one is a little weird, but yeah.
Then Martin spent a shitload of money,
Yeah, true. I bought a shit ton of
even
Koa.
before the show started.
Yeah. I spent $2,000 on Koa wood before the show even started. Shout out to Hi Koa. I won't put your link here because I won't edit it.
Yeah. And then what happened?
Damastil party.
Damastil party.
Damastil party, which was actually super fun. It was at Trey Hill's place.
Yeah. A train Rachel's
super
place.
nice. About 45 minutes away from the venue.
Something else the European mind can't comprehend. We drove there.
Roadkill on the road that's still
No.
there a week later.
Yeah, something else.
True.
We arrived there after 45 minutes on the Uber. And we arrived there, and there were a bunch of guys talking outside, a bunch of makers. And there was a Cybertruck, because someone has driven their Cybertruck there. And then there were 10 guys outside taking a look at the Cybertruck and checking if it was welded properly and checking the gaps in the frame and everything. That was quite fun. It was very manly.
Everybody's like, ooh, this sharp corner wouldn't be
Yeah.
allowed in Europe. Ooh, and this and that.
Oh, there's like a 10 millimeter gap.
Cybertrucks aren't actually allowed in Austria.
Yeah, they're not.
They're not allowed.
And also, I took a video of the guys talking about the Cybertruck. It's not here.
It won't be here. Yeah.
It won't be.
Jamie, don't pull that up.
Yeah, Damasteel party. It was really good.
It was great fun.
Barbecue,
Oh yeah.
mac and cheese, burgers, coleslaw, all the kind of good stuff. We got the tour of the small farm they live on, of the workshops, both of them.
Of the pottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the workshop
knife
and
making
the
shop
pottery.
and
So both of them.
Trey is a knife maker and Rachel, his wife, is doing pottery. She also did some super cool magnets for me, which is actually super nice.
Picture of them is not
Picture
here.
of them is not here.
Also, she does really great mugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna get mugged.
I think most of you know Trey's work, probably. He has been to Knifeshow, Austria,
Sure.
which was a month ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 weeks.
A little
I
over a
think.
month ago, yeah.
Yeah. On the topic of Knifeshow, Austria, when we were at the party, Martin was off doing whatever, and there were always
Talking to people.
little groups of people.
Business.
Little groups of people everywhere.
I had beers. A lot of them.
And I walked past them, and everyone was talking about this man and Knifeshow, Austria. Even when he wasn't around. There were just lots of people talking about it, which I think is really nice, actually. So
It's
I
really
think-
cool. It's a little weird, but it's really cool.
So I think you pulled off something really great.
I mean, I knew that Knifeshow Austria was a big topic in the knife maker world, not even in Europe, also in the US.
Internationally, yeah.
But I couldn't understand how big actually of a topic it was in the States.
The Martin Huber mind can't comprehend
The Martin Huber
this.
mind can't comprehend this. It was so weird and so cool at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was actually super fucking
it
nice.
was really nice. So yeah, that was Damasteel party.
Yeah. Then we got back around midnight, I think.
To
I
be
think
honest,
it was early this time.
I can't remember what we did.
It was midnight. I
How
think.
long did we stay?
I think it was midnight because we said, yeah, we gotta get up early in the morning.
Probably.
Next in the morning, waffles, because waffles, hotel waffles, and then we went to BLADESHOw, set up our tables, got our knives there because Trey had the knives because we shipped them to Trey.
Yeah. So thanks, Trey.
Thanks, Trey. Big shout out, Trey. I won't put the link to him and his Instagram here. And then we got the blades, put them up, set them up, and we had this small little giveaway thingy
Yeah, we
of
had
the small little
dick.
Damascus piece stick.
Hallo.
Hi.
Waschloch-Schutzbrühe noch eingefallen. Ja, es liegt. Gib uns noch 5 Minuten.
Gib uns noch 15 Minuten. Ja.
Ach so. Okay.
Ja, 5 bis 10 Minuten so ungefähr.
Ja.
So. German.
Yes.
The American mind won't.
American mind can't comprehend this.
Can't understand this. Yeah, we set up.
cock.
Yeah, the cock. The
cock.
small little cock.
I
We set
made a small little dick from the
scrap piece, scrap Damascus canister.
Yeah.
And we said the first dude who brings us 2 ice cold Red Bull sugar-free.
Yeah, it's gonna get the
Ice
clock.
cold and sugar-free. That's the 2 important parts.
Very important.
Gets it. We haven't even
Set up the table.
set up the table yet. 4-pack of Red Bull. Super nice.
Yep.
So, yeah. And then the show started and people walked in and I went on my mission of talking to people and giving out business cards for Knifeshow Austria and stuff like this while
So-
Mo guarded the table.
Just so you know, the thing we agreed on is I got the table and I would be angry at people. That's the thing
That's the thing he
that's
does,
my
yeah.
role.
He's always kind of pissed
Yeah,
off.
I'm always very aggressive.
He's nice, but you see that he's pissed off.
Yeah, of course.
But he's nice still.
So that was my role at BLADESHOw.
Yeah.
And Martin's
every
role was at every show. Yeah, and his role was, or his quest actually was, talking to people, lots of people.
Get the coolest makers to Knifeshow Austria. And great success.
Very great success.
Very great
He hasn't
success.
been at the table for very much time.
Nope.
I think he's been at the table for 1 hour over the whole weekend.
No, come on, not that bad. It's not
Maybe
that bad.
2.
Knifeshow Austria spent like 20 minutes at the table. 19 of those in front of the table, not behind the table.
Yeah.
I still sold a few knives there, but
Yeah.
but
But at
in
BLADESHOw,
Atlanta, I spent like 2 hours away from the table, an hour at the table. 2 hours away from the table, an hour at the table.
Yeah.
At least on Friday and
Yeah.
Saturday.
yeah.
And
So he, when he was on his quest, I was looking aggressively at people.
yeah,
And when he was at the table, he was looking aggressively at the table, and I was walking around.
because people think that Austrians and Germans are always bad and mean because our language sounds mean, which it actually doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
The only German that sounds really cute is fucking Swiss German.
Yeah, that's so cute.
Yeah,
You want to go there to Swiss German people and be like, "Good."
they're so cute.
Yeah.
Well, BLADESHOw.
BLADESHOW.
Yeah.
Uh,
So Friday went
we call this
by.
podcast Well BLADESHOw.
Well, BLADESHOw. So Friday went by.
Yeah.
What did we do on Friday? Oh, we went for barbecue.
Oh yeah, we went.
Right, with...
Well, it was Saturday.
Nope.
Was it Friday?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Friday we went for
Barbecue
barbecue with a bunch
the
of makers.
Italians and
There
Trey.
is. We took a selfie. It's not here.
It's not here. And he ate chicken wings with a fork, which Trey found really hilarious, and that's why Trey ate chicken wings with a fork. You can't see it here.
Yeah.
And it was us, the Italians, Trey, Hudson,
Hudson. Yeah.
Tyrell, Tyrell's son. Heat treating oven beeping.
Okay.
And yeah, who else was there? Yeah, mostly the Italians. Oh, and Studio Blades, Dimitri, a Swiss guy. Yeah, it was pretty much it. We went to the pit.
We went to the pit.
I got just a little drunk.
You
Had a
don't
little-
drink with the Polish guys.
Don't drink with the Polish. That's one thing that I always told everybody at the show. Don't go drinking with the Polish.
And guess what he did? He
Guess
drank
what
with
I'm
the Polish.
doing each and every time at BLADESHOw? Drink with the Polish because drinking with the Polish is fun. And yeah,
Yeah. But we left. I think
quite
at,
early.
I think at 12.
12:30, I think.
Yeah. Because we were
Pretty
actually
tired,
exhausted.
Yeah, pretty tired.
There's something that's running through the whole trip is us being really exhausted and
Yeah.
not sleeping lots.
That jet lag kicked hard this time.
It was really weird.
Yeah, I've never been that bad. Saturday, going to the show, selling not a single knife.
Yeah. But you walking around,
Me walking around, talking to
meeting
people.
lots of people. So I think Saturday
Having
was
cool conversations with Will and Trotsky that you can't see here.
yeah. I think
But they're
Saturday,
on the camera. They're actually on the vlog that will be coming out one day, maybe.
in a year. But I think Saturday was really bad business, like selling wise, but really good.
Good connection wise.
Yeah.
so many of you guys that are probably not watching anymore because it's already maybe half an hour into the vlog,
I think it's almost
into
1
the
hour.
podcast, and you guys stopped by, said hi. It was super cool. So nice to meet each and every one of you.
So weird.
All
People
so
taking
cool. Like
pictures
I
with
had to.
us.
Oh my god! Like I'm like, okay, I got 17,000 subscribers on my channel, which isn't a lot. Sure, it's a lot of people, but not a lot. But the amount of people that came to our table said, "Hey, I love your videos. Hey, we love watching you guys." Uh, Taking selfies with so many people.
Yeah.
I stopped counting. At first, I was counting because, like, huh, I can tell them, "Hey, I took 8 selfies with people who watched my." I stopped counting at 40, and it was so overwhelming for me. It was so incredible. Like, thank you everybody for the 15th time in this kind of podcast, and let's call it the overwhelming podcast.
Well,
And
Blade Show, overwhelming.
well, Blade Show overwhelming.
So if you have any pictures you took with Martin, post them on Instagram.
True.
Or
Post them on Instagram and
your story and link him. So I think it's always nice to do that. Then Saturday evening we went to Whataburger.
Whataburger.
I love Whataburger.
We went to Whataburger, then to the pit.
Yeah, Pit again. Pit was great. I had nice conversations
Yeah.
there.
Fortworks left a little early because he was super, super tired.
Yeah, he was really tired.
And then at midnight, you looked at me like, hey, you want to go or should we go? And I
Yep.
was like, there's 2 options. Option number 1, I stay and get shit-faced drunk
Yep.
with the Pol. No, not with the Polish, because the Polish haven't been there.
No Polish there.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Option number 2, we go back to the hotel and be actually having 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, so we went back to the hotel.
So we went back to the hotel and
we
didn't
had
get
5
shit-faced.
hours of sleep.
Yeah, no, 4, maybe 4. Yeah, but Sunday was okay.
Was alright.
Yeah, it was alright. And Blade Show.
Yeah, it was Blade Show.
It was Blade Show.
Yeah, we sold a bunch of knives, which was good.
True.
Um,
And then Rachel came over to our table, and she's like, "Barbecue today at our place," and we were like, "Fuck yes!"
yeah.
And so they came over to our table after we have finished packing up, brought us to the hotel. First brought the Italians to the hotel, then brought us to the hotel, waited for us to get ready, took us
To their home. Yeah.
fed us, gave us way too much to drink. I had way too much to drink on
I
Sunday.
didn't drink.
I had a few drinks on Sunday. We spent until 4 in the morning.
Yeah, also there were a bunch of makers there.
Yeah.
You can't see them
Can't
here.
see here.
But there were a
You
bunch
can't
of
really
makers.
see them here because we didn't take any pictures.
No, also it was dark.
It was super dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, we drove back 4 in the morning. Had a Asian woman as our Uber driver who tried to convince us.
No, that was on Thursday.
Was it Thursday?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Sunday was.
Oh, Sunday was the
grey-haired woman.
no, the big
Nope.
dude.
Nope.
Was it?
Grey-haired woman.
Oh yeah. Wade from the yeah. Why do Uber drivers in Atlanta always want to convince people to go to the strip club?
We had so many Uber drivers,
So many Uber drivers.
and they all told us to go to Magic City.
Yeah, because there's great chicken wings there.
Yeah, and yeah, we just leave it at
Yeah,
that. I think
we didn't do that. No.
We didn't do that. And
Then Monday,
Monday.
we went to bed 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah,
something like
so
this.
Sunday at night when we got
Yeah.
home, we went to bed at 4 or 5 something, and we woke up at 2:30 in the afternoon.
2:30 in the afternoon, which was super weird. And
It was especially weird because back at home it was 6 hours later, so it was 8:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like this. So
that
my
was-
wife
that
nearly
was
went to
weird.
bed, and we just got up.
Yeah.
And Rachel was calling and said, "Hey, I'm in the area. We got so much barbecue and fried chicken left over from the other days. You guys wanna? Should I pick you up and let's go there?"
Also, something I have to add in. Sunday, the food was fucking good.
It was a lot of fried chicken.
And also, fried green tomato with some sort of
That was Thursday.
nope,
Yeah.
Sunday.
No.
Sunday.
No.
Ich schwöre, es war Sonntag.
So.
Ich schwöre, es war Sonntag, weil wir alle um diesen Dings rumgesessen sind in der Küche und geredet haben, wie die BLADESHOw war. Ich schwöre, es war Sonntag.
Fix it.
Ich schwöre auf
Fix
alles.
it.
Ich schwöre auf alles, das war Sonntag.
Oh yeah, shit, true, he's right.
Yeah, so it was fried green tomato with some sort of cheese thing.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was good.
Food.
It was
The best food.
Probably the best food I've ever had in the US.
Best American food
for
ever.
real.
It was the best.
So, thanks for all the food. It was cooked by, what was his name? Was it Patrick?
Patrick, yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm bad with names, but yeah, Patrick.
Shout out Patrick.
Shout out to Patrick.
So good.
And then we had all the leftovers on Monday.
Yeah, we had all the leftovers on Monday.
Did a
which
little
was
bit
nice.
of sightseeing. We went to the Big Chicken,
Big Chicken.
which actually
You
is a
can't see here.
KFC. You can't see here, yeah.
Yeah. We went to
And
Costco.
Costco, 1st Costco experience. $1.50 for
Hot dog and a
this
drink.
big ass hot dog and a drink, and $2 for a pizza, this size. And the full American experience. Then Walmart again, because we
Walmart.
needed to get all the stuff that we had to bring home for our friends.
Yeah.
And then we hang out again until like midnight, 1 in the
Midnight,
morning, or something like this. And then Rachel drove us back home.
So-
No, we took an Uber. She tried to force us to, but we said no. We gotta take an Uber. She had to sleep.
Yeah. So shout out Troy and Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best people ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. Tuesday we shipped off a couple of things to a friend
No,
of ours.
Rachel took us back on Monday.
No.
She drove us back. She drove us back on Monday.
Really?
We talked about our Uber experience
Oh, true.
to her on Monday. So yeah, shout out.
True. She brought us back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, we...
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, sorry. I got up early. I took a walk, hike thing. There was a forest next to the hotel, really big forest. It was actually quite pretty.
I don't know. I slept.
There was a big river there. Apparently there's a bamboo forest, but it was on the other side of the river. And I couldn't get across.
Big river, no bridge,
Yeah.
except
Then
for the interstate.
Yeah. Then I walked back, took a sidewalk next to the highway. Then the highway just stopped in the middle of the thing, and I had to cross the highway. 6-lane highway. I did not know I could sprint that fast. Yeah, then you guys were up.
Jaywalking is a crime.
Yeah. Then we had breakfast. Drove to KEH, camera store.
He bought a camera lens
I bought a lens
and film.
and film, because film is cheaper in the US than it is in Europe.
Yep.
And
That's pretty much
then we went back to the hotel, got our stuff, and went to the airport.
it. Had a
then-
horrible flight back home.
Then I had the slowest KFC, and then the KFC, Burger King
Burger
ever.
King. Like
We
we waited an
waited
hour, nearly 55 minutes.
for
Three
3 burgers and 3 fries.
Yeah. And then they messed up our order. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. Came
And
back
there's
home.
Chris up
jet
there,
lag. Chris up there
waiting
waiting,
for us to
for us to finish. And
Yeah, flight
Yeah.
was all right, but it was crowded, so no extra space for us.
no big sleep.
No big sleep. That was really bad.
Yeah.
Then we went to Frankfurt,
Yeah.
got on another plane back to Austria, where we had actually our there was a 4 seats where we looked at each other when flying.
Yeah.
That was really weird.
It was really weird. He was sitting across from me.
Yeah, there was-
looking face into face.
You can see a video, not here.
Not here.
And then Chris picked us up at the airport.
Sure.
Yeah, which was nice. Well,
Shout hi.
He picked.
Hi. Hurry up, guys. It's Red Bull time. The microphone actually picks that up.
Nice.
Nice.
He picked me up first because Martin went to the toilet to take a shit.
Big shit.
Yeah, so that
The
was
European
it.
toilet experience is a different kind of thing.
Yep. And then we went back home.
Yeah.
I was at home at
Big sleep.
11 in the morning. I fell
Big
asleep until 6. Got up, had food, back to bed for another 8 hours. So yeah,
Big sleep.
Very big sleep.
Big sleep.
I think that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening
Thanks
to
for
our
watching.
bullshit for 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was nice. And also,
And the camera battery is still at half, so nice. We could
if
even
you
take
if you want to see
another episode
No,
of
if you-
Well
if-
Blade Show.
yeah, if you want to see another episode, tell us. But if you want to see some of the past videos we've made in the couple weeks, there's a link here.
Or
And
not.
There's a link here.
Oh wait,
for
actually,
real
wait.
this
Is
time.
this is the end card, so it's gonna be here and here. So watch them. Bye.